Hello, I am Tim Doyle, student of the Golden Ones. This is the second training class, and what I want to discuss and share is how Earth's spiritual training school is conducted and what goes on here. First of all, not all souls can attend the spiritual training school. When I was in Peru, I went to Peru between 2001 and 2006 and drank the ayahuasca and wachumi with the shamans of Peru. And during one of the drinkings, you drink this medicine, ayahuasca. It's made up of roots and leaves and a mixture that the shamans mix together. I won't say it's a hallucination drink. What it does, it goes in and it's almost like a past life regression where you view things in your previous carnations and you address them and you clear them up. And what you're doing is you're clearing your light body. So while under one of the drinkings, after you drink, the ceremonies last for about 5 to 6 hours. And you're just going in and out of these past life experiences. So when you're through, halfway through, you receive a gift from Spirit. And the gift I received, I had a question before I went to Peru. So this was from my first drinking back in 2001. And I'm sitting, the vision opens up in your mind's eye as if you're watching television. That's how clear and crazy the medicine is. And I see myself sitting in a throne. I must be a king or some royal being. I have a staff in my left hand, and I have some sort of a rod in my right hand resting on my lap. And I'm sitting there, I'm dressed in royal garb. I know there's a crown on my head. And I'm sitting there, in front of me is the universe, all the stars of the universe. So I'm sitting there, and then the finger of God comes across like this, points to a little star down in the right-hand corner, and it says choice. So what it was telling me is it was a choice. I had thoughts. I didn't know if Earth was a prison or if we choose to come to Earth. So it was telling me that we choose to come to Earth. And later, the Golden Ones explained to me that not everyone can come to Earth. You have to be recommended by your star nation. The souls on Earth, born to Earth, are in this spiritual training school. And to be born, to qualify to come to Earth, your star nation has to recommend you to the Galactic Council. The Galactic Council is made up of many leaders of the star nations, 9 of them, and they vote on whether an applicant is a recommended applicant qualifies to come to Earth and to train to become a co-creator God. So that is the qualification. You have to be an elite, spiritually developed soul to come to Earth. So once you come to Earth, there's three stages of development. Now, everybody on Earth, everybody in this spiritual training school is a classmate. We all qualify, all right? We're all highly developed spiritual beings, and we're all training to become co-creator gods. But there's 3 stages. The first, it's almost like everybody in a beauty contest. If there's a beauty contest of all the most beautiful women in the world, and if the women look at everyone else, they just probably consider themselves a normal looking lady because everybody else is so beautiful. Well, the same principle is here in this spiritual training school. Everyone is spiritually developed and qualified to be here. However, when you come here, You're stripped of all your previous knowledge and information that you might perceive to say, well, I'm this and I'm that. You're nobody when you come here. All right. You have to, when you are created in the image and likeness of God, male and female, He created us. We, within each soul, are embedded God characteristics. These characteristics are not activated until you come to earth. When you come to earth, these embedded God characteristics are activated. For example, your conscious mind, subconscious mind, and your relationship to universal mind, they're dormant within you. The characteristics of God, of patience and loving and feeling and compassionate and truthful, all these God characteristics are embedded within the soul, but they're not activated until you come to earth. So when you come to earth, you're basically, there's three types of people, that classes of people in this training school. The lower class is the ones that are new to earth, and they're still in the egotistical self of just me, very selfish actions towards others. They're corrupt, they're greedy, they're abusive, and they only think about themselves, and they have no concern about anybody else in life. Those are the lower ones and new ones coming to earth. Now, mind you, even though they act this way and they're arrogant, we were once there. We once had to come through that stage to get to where we are now. So we have to look at them as just their classmates. They're still in the kindergarten stage of soul development, being co-creator gods. After you start many carnations and you start realizing that you experience universal laws, what you do to others are coming back to you, then you start to pay more attention to your actions. And you find out that when you abuse someone else will abuse you. And so you're getting the cause and effect action from karma as you evolve in this spiritual training school. So you go from the egotistical one to the spiritual man. Now, we're not saying he's purely spiritual. We're saying that he's starting to think about his soul and his soul development. And he has a little bit more responsibility to self. He might be interested in meditation, maybe astrology, maybe numerology. He might be working charity work of some sort, taking responsibilities for his family. He's more conscious about his actions in life and how they relate to other. The third class of souls are the ones in training to become co-creator gods. They know they're spiritual. They do the right thing. They're conscious of their thoughts. They may meditate. They may do many things for soul development. All right, so these are the three classes of training stages here on Earth. Now, this Earth is supplied, this training school is supplied with all the temptations of the Milky Way galaxy. You have to be tempted. The purpose of the soul is to discipline their desires, discipline their thoughts, discipline their words, discipline their deeds. That is the purpose of the soul here, is you have free will. You have free will to experience life, to try this, try that. But again, what keeps you in line is you're aware of karma now. You have free will, but you don't abuse it. You're not abusive to others, and if you are, there's karma. You'll reap the karma. So you have to be mindful of your actions, your responsibilities here in life. All the temptations are here. All your sensual temptations, eating, overeating, taking drugs, alcohol, men, women, pornography. It's all here. It's all here. And you choose what you want to create for yourself and what your disciplines are. Now, how these temptations, why they're here is to so the soul can develop discipline in their thoughts, their words, and their deeds. That's the purpose of these temptations. Now, we also have Archangel Lucifer. Archangel Lucifer, who has a nickname known as the devil, which the word devil comes from the word evil, and the word evil comes from Eve eating the apple. Adam and Eve eating the apple, Eve getting ill, evil, and devil comes from the deity, the god Eve eating the apple and getting ill, or devil. That's where the word comes from. Lucifer, his role is to tempt every soul to find a weakness in everyone. Every soul on earth is working to discipline their thoughts, words, and deeds. And it's Lucifer's role, and his nickname is the light bearer. His role is to find a weakness in all the souls. And if you have a weakness, he's going to work on you to discipline that weakness. He'll keep tempting you until you overcome and you have no more desires to satisfy the ego. The ego separates you. When you're in the ego state, it separates you from God. When you're in the spiritual state, you start to have a communications with God. You start to realize you're part of creation. When you get into the co-creator state, you know you're part of creation. You're a oneness with all of life. All life comes from God. So you're part of this oneness of creation. Well, Lucifer's role is to make sure that you have disciplined all your desires, sensual desires, and desires to satisfy the ego. And when you do that, he brings you into the light. And that's why he's called the light bearer. There's no such, I won't say there's no such thing. Yeah, there's no such thing as Lucifer being a falling angel or not disobeying God or anything like that. That's his role is to tempt you. Now, Lucifer on earth here is like a god. He will grant you any wish you want if you sell your soul to Lucifer. If you give up your most loved feature, person, loved one, to be sacrificed for a gift from Lucifer, he'll grant you whatever you want. He'll grant you money. He'll grant you power. He'll grant you whatever you want. But you have to understand, this life in this training school is not real. You can have all the money in the world. You can have all the power in the world. You can have all the luxuries in this world, but you can't take it with you. All right. So it's basically just play money. I was told a long time ago, it makes no difference what role you play in the spiritual training school. It's how you play the role. It's the quality of your performance. It's being truthful and loving and compassionate and true to yourself. It comes down to being true to yourself, and you're only as good as your word. So if you make promises to someone, keep your promise. You're only as good as your word. Now, along with Lucifer, on the other hand, we have angels. Everyone has a guardian angel or a coach, someone prompting you, someone offering this or offering that. But normally, angels do not interfere with your free will. For example, if you're on a diet or if you're overweight, the last thing you want someone to do is tell you how to lose weight. You're not interested. You're not interested. If I'm a smoker, I don't care if someone wants to tell me to stop smoking or not. I'm not interested. So angels do not interfere with your free will unless you ask for their assistance. If you ask for their assistance, your angels will assist you. Just like if I'm a smoker and if I want to learn how to stop smoking, I'll ask someone for advice. I'm open to hear what they have to say. So when you need assistance, ask your guardian angel to assist you. He will assist you. What I've been experiencing recently, and I haven't really, I've always been in contact with my teachers. There's a frequency in your mind called the God frequency. My teachers taught me this frequency, how to attune to this frequency back in the 80s when I was studying to become a metaphysical ordained minister. And they taught me this technique to attune to the God frequency. It was a 28-day program, and I had to do something each day. In fact, on my website is this program. It's called the Master Ascension Program. I go into great detail on how the program works. It's not a difficult program. It's just teaching yourself to discipline your thinking. That's basically all it does. But you have to be consistent. And after 28 days, well, you'll start seeing results in about 10 to 14 days. You'll start seeing results. And then what you'll do is you'll start seeing these negative thoughts or unhealthy thoughts and feelings coming towards you. And you just put up your barriers, your prayer protection or whatever. I did. I used the prayer to remove emotional parasites is how I got rid of mine. But at the time, I didn't have the prayer to remove emotional parasites. I had to use willpower to eliminate these unhealthy thoughts and feelings. So we have angels, and recently I started dreaming about numbers, certain numbers in my dreams. Be a different number, maybe number like 45 would pop up in my dream. And I was guided to go to look up the meaning of the number 45, and I found out it was an angel number. So it got me kind of curious to work with angels and angel numbers. So I share that with you, that you can work with angels. Now, this is a great tool to teach your children that they have a guardian angel. And the guardian angel is there to protect them and watch over them. So anytime your child feels insecure, afraid of the dark, or in a situation that's unhealthy, if they just know they have a guardian angel and they can call on them to help them, it will build their self-confidence, okay? All right, karma. Karma in this school teaches you to be mindful of universal laws and principles of harmony, balance, order, and unity for the greatest good, for the greatest number. That's how you learn here. If you offend someone, someone will offend you. If you abuse someone, someone will abuse you. If you steal from someone, someone will steal from you. Now, sometimes your karma doesn't show up immediately because the soul may not be able to handle the karma in that current carnation. So that your karma debt can be delayed for another carnation. So you just have to remember this, because especially if you're in the spiritual stage or the co-creator God stage of soul development here in this training school, something will happen to you and you won't understand how you created it. When this happens, it's either a repayment of karma debt or there's a lesson in wisdom you still have to learn. So it's not, you never go to, oh, why me, poor me, or anything like that. It's like, okay, what's my lesson here? If my lesson is wisdom, what's the learning lesson? All right. If it's karma debt, then you have to go to forgiveness. No one can forgive your sins but yourself. You can't go to a priest or a minister or a rabbi or a spiritual teacher and say, oh, I did this terrible thing, forgive me. No one can forgive you. You can only forgive yourself. You forgive yourself when you forgive others. So if someone steals from me and I know who stole from me, and I do, I report it to the police, I do my civil responsibilities, and nothing happens, I have to forgive that person. I have to then say, I must have stole from someone else in a previous incarnation. I don't remember it. But Father, forgive me for my trespasses, as I forgive those who trespass against me. When you come to this reasoning within your heart and mind, then you're forgiven from past karma. That's how you pay your karmic debts, and that's how you forgive. If you fail to forgive, then the karmic debt will continue. So just remember that. All right. Now, responsibilities. Your first responsibility is to yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of your loved ones. So you need to take care. Your body is a biological computer. If you drink, if you take drugs, if you eat unhealthy foods, sugar, your biological computer is going to break down. It's not going to support you. It's not going to support your path. It's not going to support your spiritual development. So you need to take care of yourself. You have to, not only in your body, but in your thinking, the people you hang around, the people you associate with, the type of work you do. If it's unhealthy or it's not, if it's not for the good of the community, it's not good for you, all right? Your next responsibility is to your thoughts, your words, and your deeds. You have to be mindful of what you're thinking, what you say, what actions you take in all incidents, not just in the morning, not just in the afternoon, not just to your family, not just to your friends, to everyone, all right? You just turn the other cheek. Your third responsibility is to your family and your work, all right? That's your responsibility. Curriculum. The curriculum in this spiritual training school is, it'd make it a lot easier if you embrace that you are working towards becoming a co-creator God. When you can embrace this awareness of self, then it makes it a lot easier for you to accept life challenges. Everyone has a guardian angel. Everyone is attuned to the heart of God, all right? You may not be aware of this, and we'll talk about this later on in another training class, but you, like the animal kingdom. The animal kingdom and the flower kingdoms and the other kingdoms are all attuned to the heart of God. You're attuned to that. We're attuned to the heart of God too, but we're not aware of it because a lot of times we don't pay attention to our feelings. We don't express our feelings. So we're working on our conscious mind, all right? Our thoughts, our manifestations, pleasing ourselves and so forth. So if you embrace that you are a co-creator God and you learn from life's experiences, because universal mind is connected to each soul and it creates life experiences for each soul. Now your life experiences are different because each soul is in a different level of soul development. Each soul knows certain things of wisdom and knows less of other things, and vice versa. So universal mind will constantly give you a life experience based on your wisdom, what you have learned, what you need to learn, or a life experience based on the karma debt that you have to repay back. Also, a life experience can be an opportunity to meet other people and to assist in manifesting something in your life good for you later on. So you have to look at life experiences either an opportunity, learning wisdom, or repaying life's a karma debt. All right. So you're going to learn about your conscious mind, subconscious mind, and your relationship to universal mind. We'll talk about that later. You have to learn about your emotions and your feelings. Your emotions are raw emotions, God characteristics embedded in your light body, which is your solar plexus, connected to your solar plexus, your feeling body, your third chakra. You learn about that. We'll talk about that in detail later on. And your feelings, if they're good feelings, they're from the heart of God. If they're negative feelings, then those are unhealthy feelings we need to get rid of. Okay, we'll talk about that right now. Unhealthy feelings are in your subconscious mind. They're on your light body. And on the website, on the homepage, www.thepathtowoneness.com, on the homepage, there's a video. It's called The Prayer to Remove Emotional Parasites. This was given to me back in 2012 from Thoth, the Egyptian god, when I was in a spiritual conference in Sydney in 2012. I think it was January of 2012. That prayer, along with counseling from the Arcturians, who are seventh dimension beings, taught me that fear and unhealthy feelings are entities. Right. They're entities and they will influence your thinking. They have enough conscious awareness of self and they can influence your thinking. Where if you have a fear of swimming, for example, their role is to make you afraid of swimming. If you get rid of the fear, they think they're going to die. So they will interfere in your thinking and prevent you from removing fears and unhealthy feelings from your light body. But that's not true for the entities, negative entities, unhealthy entities for the soul. So it's a prayer to remove emotional parasites from the body. And we'll talk about that in our next training session. You're cleaning the light body, very important. When I was in Peru, under the influence of the ayahuasca, they gave me a vision of a light body, which was a radiant light being, filaments. The light body is filaments, strands of lights in the outline of a body. And on the light body were globs of glue, just globs, here a glob, here a glob, here a glob, here and a glob here. These globs were unhealthy feelings, fears, guilt feelings, abusive feelings. And what happens is when these globs are on your light body, it's like having a string instrument, and instead of playing beautiful music, it's terrible. It doesn't vibrate to the level it needs to vibrate to. So that's why it's important to get rid of, to clean your light body. And we'll talk about that in our next training session, I think. It all depends on what they want me to concentrate on the next training lesson. We have the prayer protection. Prayer protection is to protect you against all healthy situations. It's a short little prayer. It takes about 15, 30 seconds to memorize and to use. I use it all the time. I use it in my home, when I go out in public, before going into meditation. I'll use the prayer of protection to make sure there is no unhealthy entities that are being drawn to me. Let's see. Attuning to the heart and mind of God frequency in the mind, in the brain. On the website, there's a program called Master Ascension Program. It's a 28-day program. It's the same program that was taught to me back in 1983 to attune to the God frequency in your mind. Once you attune to it, it's like riding a bike. You're always attuned to the God frequency. I used to think in the beginning, I only thought it was a one-way communication where they would just talk to me. Then I realized that they respond to my questions. So it's like being on the telephone or interacting on the Wi-Fi on the internet to information. So I highly recommend. You will not be able to ascend until you attune to the God frequency in your brain. It will help you clear your light body, keep your light body clean, protect you from unhealthy entities and thoughts. You'll need this to advance. Well, I say you need it. I find I need it to advance on my spiritual path. If you can do it without it, that's fine. Well, whatever you can do. Meditation is good. Meditation is the time to communicate with your loved ones, your teachers, universal mind. If you have anything in your that needs to be resolved, meditation is a good place to do it. You need to be quiet. It helps you to discipline your thinking and to listen. I find yoga extremely beneficial for my body as we get older. We're in the age of the golden age. In the golden age, we will live to be 1,000 years. There's no reason why you need to die if you live in alignment with universal laws and principles of harmony, balance, order, and unity. You live a spiritual, loving life. You're one with creation. There's no need for you to die. There's nothing you can learn while you're awake. You don't have to die and go to a place and come back under new parents to learn. So keep that in mind, but you have to take care of your body. It's still a biological computer, and you need to take care of it. I do believe one day in the future, where we only use 15% of our brain, 15 to 20% of our brain. I think somewhere in the future, another portion of the brain will be activated where more mature responsibility, I won't say powers, but gifts will come to us to use for our development. What else do I want to say here? Probably right now that's good enough. I would like for you to visit the website, www.thepathtowoneness.com. There's many teachings on the websites. All the products are free. There's the books, 3 books, channeled by the Golden Ones. There's an MP3 there for meditation. There's astrology and numerology reports. There's a program, Master Ascension Program, cleaning your light body with a prayer to clear emotional parasites and removal of emotional parasites. And there's a meditation cure. It's a meditation cure for emotional anxiety, all channeled by the Golden Ones to assist souls in dealing with different challenges in your life. All right. We're all on the same path. We're all working towards becoming co-creator gods, and we help one another. So with that in mind, I hope you find this beneficial, and I will work on the next training class for our next session. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. See all the teachings of the Golden Ones at the YouTube channel, Timothy Doyle, The Golden Ones, or visit us at www.thepathtowoneness.com. Also visit us on Facebook at The Path to Oneness.